Hey y'all, so I wanted to share something really brief with you guys, pertaining to something that happened a few years ago. It's just been on my mind and I wanted to share it with you guys because it could be an inspiration to someone. So I want to say maybe it was like maybe about 6 or 7 years ago. So I was working at this doctor's office, right? When I first started out at this doctor's office, it was an OBGYN clinic to be specifically. I was a medical receptionist, I think is what the position was called exactly. And so when I started out at the position, I was so excited to get the position. It was a raise from my previous job that I was at. Plus it was additional experience for myself. It was my first time working at the front desk of an actual doctor's office, because I'm typically just within the hospital settings. So I was really excited to get this job. I started out in the job. It was 3 ladies, including myself, and all that was there. So we were working at the front desk. It was 3 ladies and it was 3 providers, right? So each receptionist was designated for a particular provider schedule, working the provider's patients up and just things of that nature, right? So I was so excited to get this position, and then I also was in the process of trying to obtain my AA degree, right? And during that process, I was still kind of iffy exactly what field exactly I wanted to go into. I was sure that I wanted to go into social work, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to do nursing as well, so that I could try to do like a nursing case management. Anywho, that's a different story. So my goal was to obtain some experience from that particular position, because I was also in like a medical terminology class, right? So anywho, go on with the position. I want to say maybe about a couple of months into the position, or actually I don't even think it was a couple of months, it maybe like was a couple weeks, I can't recall exactly, into the position, one of the ladies quit. So one of the ladies quit. Management kept promising me and the other young lady, okay, we're gonna find a replacement for her, just give us some time, da 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 da. Now recall, at this time it was still three providers. So then it was then 2 receptionists for 3 providers. This was a busy OBGYN office. It was very busy, very busy. So anywho, a couple months after that, one of the providers left. She ended up doing her own practice. So one of the providers left. So then it was 2 receptionists, two of the OBGYNs. Okay, that was kind of okay. Being at a doctor's office, it was really chaotic. It was really busy. In my opinion, it was really disorganized based off of the management. So that was really a challenging job. So then continue. Then it went from, okay, we no longer need 2 receptionists, we just need 1. So we're going to move the lady who been here the longest to a different practice. So I'm like, okay, I'm still kind of feel like I'm fresh. I'm still kind of a newbie. Okay. So the other provider, he was a male provider. He ended up going to a different practice as well. So then it just ended up being myself, and it was myself and a provider. So I'm like, okay, this is already really a challenging job. All the duties attached. It wasn't just like I was just a receptionist that just sat there and answered phone calls and, scheduled appointments or canceled appointments or rescheduled appointments. No, it was appointment scheduling, verification, insurance verification, closing out the day. So I was also in control of like the charges to the accounts, closing out the day when it came to like the money management of it and things of that nature, right? So I remember this job just being so stressful, just so stressful. I remember crying literally almost every day going home. I'm going to pick up my son from school. I would just crying. I lost like so much weight. I was always a small a small frame girl. I would typically weigh at the most maybe like 125. If I went to like 130, that's maybe because I'm just kind of like, I've been eating a lot more or something to that nature, or either due to pregnancy from like a pregnancy weight gain. But typically I'm like 125, 126. I went from like 125 to like 113, 110, right? So oh my gosh, I was just so stressful. I've been working since like I was in like the 11th grade of high school. And this particular job specifically that I'm talking about was the most stressful job I've just ever I just felt like just literally walking out the door, leaving my badge on the desk, right? But of course I had responsibilities and things of that nature, so I just felt like I just couldn't do that, right? So I remember just boohoo crying, and I remember picking up my son. We went home. And went home, he went in his room, and I remember just literally dropping my purse and dropping my lunch bag, dropping everything to the front door. I walked to the living room, he walked in his room. I walked to the living room, and I literally just got on my knees and I just prayed, like praying, just crying. Please, Lord, please, Lord, please get me out of this, please get me out of this situation. I don't know what else to do. Like, I'm literally about to give up, right? In which I've always felt like, you know, my relationship with God wasn't as strong as it is today, you know, but I always still had faith, but I wasn't living right. I was still doing a lot of things that, you know, I shouldn't have been doing, but, you know, so I remember just praying, crying, praying. And I remember hearing this really strong voice. It was light, but it was strong. You know, it was like a low, strong voice. And I remember hearing, "Be still." And this was during the time of me praying. So when I got finished praying, I was like, okay. That had been like maybe like a Tuesday or something to that nature. And you know, for about a month or so, I remember just filling out a whole heap of applications, job applications, other places. And so I remember praying. It was like that Tuesday, and came that Friday of the same week, I had got an email requesting for a job interview. So that following Tuesday, I went in for the job interview back at the hospital, and it was a full-time position, and it was like as a heart and vascular scheduler. So I remember going in for the interview that following Tuesday, went in for an interview, and that following Friday I got the call from HR about the position being offered to me. So I say all this to say, when times are so hard, I mean times are so hard, don't give up. Like, I was like so close to just giving up. Like, I was like, okay, I know I'm a mom, I know this, I know I have an apartment, I know I have bills, I know I have a car note, I know, like, Lord, I just don't know what to do no more. Like, I can't take it mentally, spiritually, physically. I just cannot take it anymore. So right after that, I had got the job offer from the other hospital, from the other job. And so I remember putting in my 2 weeks notice that next following week. Put in my 2 weeks notice, and then the provider who was working there as well put in her 60-day notice. So it just worked out so crazy, because it was like I was such a good, you know, hard worker, you know, and then it just to where I just started feeling so taken advantage of, because like management knew that like I had a child, they knew that I had a lot to lose, is what I felt, you know, and they knew that I was just a dedicated hard worker, and I just felt like I was just really taken advantage of. So I just say all this to just, you know, really share this story, really share it. I just really feel like this is a testimony, you know. And I just wanted to share that because times are so hard. Like now, times are hard. Times can be hard for anyone. And I just want to share, just don't give up. If you're a true believer in Yeshua, you're a true believer in God and Yah and Yahweh, the Most High, don't give up. You know, if you're living in His Word, you're living by His laws and commandments, don't give up. Don't give up. So I hope this is inspiration to someone. I just really wanted to share this because it's a lot that I do share with a lot of people, you know, but I don't really talk much to a lot of people. So, but I do share my testimony when I can and when I'm able to. And I just really had this on my heart to share with you guys. So other than that, you guys take care. Y'all bless.